All right. The long story short about my mom is that she goes, Mijo, I can't hear the guests. And I'm like, literally on the podcast, I'm telling the guests, bring the mic out closer to you. And then the closest thing I can do is literally like get up on top of the table and like push the mic closer to their face. Yeah, literally. And so like, I love my mom, obviously.
Yeah.
And I am wearing the famous loafers for the podcast for my mother. Shout out Marisa.
Marisa, shout out.
And now, as I have done that, we are going to get right into the show. Good morning, YouTube world. My name is Joshua Coates, and you're over at Success Story. You've already seen the person. I put you on the screen already, okay. So they already saw you. The reason why, it's not the reason why. The reason why is because I forgot to just put it on me. But I'm going to pretend. The reason why is because we both have an incredible name. We both are doing incredible things. And I'm very excited to talk with Joshua today. To Josh. Okay, I'll be, for the sake of the podcast and as we work together further, as our business relationship grows, and also friendship, I'll be Joshua. Yep. He will be Josh. He is Dominican Republic.
Dominican, yeah.
Dominican. He's Dominican. He's Dominican, and I am Mexican, Hispanic, and this is awesome. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so the first thing is, can you? You don't have to look at the camera. You can just look at me, but. Give me a little description of what you do, and later on we'll talk about what you talk about on social media and everything like that. But tell me, who is Joshua Munoz?
Yeah, well, thank you for the introduction, Joshua.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Joshua Munoz, and I run a men's group called the Gentleman's Dojo, and that's my life's work in one program. Of just going through life, right, as a man, and doing all the inner work, the self-improvement, going through the whole process. But who I am, I'm a father, right? I'm a husband, so it's like I'm a lighthouse, right? That's my main priority of who I am.
I like that, a lighthouse.
Yeah, I'm a lighthouse, yeah. And that's the whole premise of my program that I created. It's like I'm just bringing people back to themselves.
That's beautiful.
Because there's been a lot of parts of my journey where I was throwing out the lifeboat, the
life vest. The circle thing in particular, right?
The circle thing. I was throwing I was trying to save people.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And you end up losing yourself in the ocean because you're just trying to save people, and then you realize you're in the mess with them.
That's literally what I was talking about earlier, and we didn't even get to that point. Yeah. But no, seriously, it's like you want to do so much for so many people, and you can't even get up out of the water to breathe.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want you to talk about your story now.
Okay.
Go back as far as you would like. Yeah. Were you born in the Dominican?
No, I wasn't born there. I was born in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm from the East Coast. And I was born in a family. I was the youngest out of three, which was great. And then both my parents from Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. My mom grew up in the Bronx, ended up moving to Massachusetts. And then my dad came here when my brother was born to the States. And I was born in Haverhill, Massachusetts. And it's just like, I was born into a big family. And it's one of those things where, I had a good childhood in the sense of like, I had a lot of family, mm-hmm. which was cool. So it was always like, I was always active. I was always doing things. And it was great. It was a good experience of, growing up. And then you don't know what you don't know when you're a kid, right? So I'm growing up as a kid thinking like, life is great. I'm doing all these things. And, ended up, going to high school, being a class clown, dealing with confidence issues as a kid. I had an older brother who was really good at sports, like very confident. And it was just, for me, it was just like a lot of self-esteem issues growing up, right? So it was one of those things where middle school, it was one of those things that I was kind of more into my kind of self-sabotage era already, which is crazy, right? It's
At what age?
Like middle school, like middle school where you start to, try to get attention from friends, from family members, from girls, right? Yeah. So it's like, I always had a good relationship with my older sister. She's like my best friend. She's like the female version of me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I literally have the same thing with my sister.
Yeah.
She's younger than me, Shayna.
I was gonna say, if they
You're
had
like,
the
dude, oh no, dude, that would have been crazy.
If they had the same name, that'd be crazy.
No, I don't think I would have.
Yeah.
I would have walked out of my own.
So like, yeah, I grew up with my older sister being like my best friend, then my older brother being like a best friend too. Like he was always good at sports. He was always like my superhero. He kind of took on like a dad figure for me. Because I grew up with my dad being present, but like, not necessarily
working.
Working. Yeah, my dad was working.
Like present, but like busy.
Busy, but also like maybe not sure how to be a father because he didn't grow up with a father because his father committed suicide when he was 7, 8, right?
Yeah.
And then, so my dad was a doctor in Dominican Republic. Ended up moving to the States. Because he would have to do the whole process again if he tried to be a doctor here. So he ended up being a teacher. So he was at a teacher at a school near us called Lawrence High School, and so he was there, but it wasn't really like dad things. It was like, oh, I'm gonna go outside and play basketball with you, or I'm gonna go do something. So like my brother took on that role where he was the one who showed me like how to do a lineup, how to clean my shoes, oh, you walk on this side of the road, like going to the boys club. It was like, no, you stick up for yourself this way. This is how you dress. You don't walk out with your clothes, not ironed, So it was a cool dynamic in the sense of like, I really looked up to my brother.
And do you already say, but how old is he?
He's 4 years older than me.
4 years, okay.
Yeah. But it was just like, he had like the aura, if you would call it back then. Like he was funny. He was kind of like a low-key bully too. Like no one messed with them. So it's like...
Yeah, but that helped you too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like no one messed with me or my sister. I feel bad for my sister because like...
Hey, I mean...
My brother couldn't allow any of the kids to date my sister.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So it was cool. So, so I grew up with that, having him more as my, like, I kind of like a father figure that I look up to. And then my mom was just such a sweetheart. My mom has like the biggest heart, So for me, it was just like... growing up, she was such a good mom. She loves being a mom, and it was just really, she made up for a lot of the things. I think for me, growing up in a Dominican household, we grew up in the traditional machismo. You cook, clean, take care of kids, and I do this. So I kind of grew up in that experience where it was one of those things.
For the white people, it's like the macho mentality.
Yeah.
Where it's like you go to work, and then the woman does all the house.
Yeah. But then it was a time where my mom still worked too. So I'm seeing my mom still work, still clean.
Okay.
So it's like, as we grew up in the 90s kids, like I'm 34. The 90s kids, we grew up, we walk ourselves.
I'm 94.
To school. You're 94?
Yeah.
So like.
A little younger, but like not that much.
No, this is still 90s kid. Yeah. But it was like we would walk to school, right? And then we'll come home. We used to have a little butter knife that we'll open our door. Like that was our key, like.
I mean, I would just jump. My mom's probably going to get pissed at this, but like I would just jump. I would leave the door open. My mom would always like tell me to lock all the doors, and I wouldn't. And I would just jump the fence, and I would go to the back, and then I would just open it that way.
Yeah.
Because I was a rebel. I don't know. Why am I like this? I'm still like this, but like not as bad. You know what I mean? Anyway, so keep going.
So it was, it was one of those things where, I grew up seeing, my parent dynamic, and that's what I knew, like growing up, my parents, like there would be arguments and yelling, right? So like for me, I was like, I never made sense to me as a kid. I'm like, my parents' dynamic, they'll be arguing. I'm like, why are they arguing if they love each other? And then my brother and my sister took on their dynamic where my brother and sister would argue. So I'm like, why are they arguing? And then I always had to be in the middle of everything.
Oh, you are the middle kid.
Yeah. Well, I'm the youngest technically, but I'm always in the middle.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
So I was the peacemaker, So then
you were the mediator. Oh my God, is that why you were like doing what you? Is that why you're doing this? No.
That's what made me a people pleaser.
Oh.
It made me a people pleaser. Where
that
it's
is
like,
not good.
Yeah. It made me like, because it was like, it was so tense that as a young kid, I'm consciously thinking like, why is this always so much tension? So for me, it was easy for me to fall back to jokes. It was easy for me to fall back to like just being the light. So like even my brother and sister would argue, and like I would always take my brother's side because he's big and would beat me up. Yeah. And then so I'm always like, Karina, it's okay. It's okay, Karina. Like I got you.
You're like, bro, good job. You're like, no, it's fine. It's like it's like I'm so sorry. I don't want to get hit again.
Yeah. So like we'll take sides. So it was one of those things where it was a dynamic that it was my experience. And that those dynamics is what kind of then led to different dynamics, right? And I think your household dynamics is one aspect. As you get older, your dynamics shift to be like, I value more how I look to my friends than I do to my family. So there's an age gap that kind of goes through where you're like, oh, fuck my family. I don't care about my dynamic as long as I'm cool with my friends, right? So it was like, I grew up, with the cool kids, like I can't say like it was one of those things where I was like ever lonely because I'm an extrovert by heart.
You found friends when you needed them.
For sure. Yeah. So definitely have a core group of friends. Like where I'm from, like you grow up and you die with the same friends. Like that's how it is in Northeast. It's like, oh yeah, Billy, I went to school with him since I was, in first grade, right? So it's like I know everybody in the city pretty much. So it was one of those things where, as I was navigating middle school, that's when you start trying to get your own identity. And that's when I started dealing with like confidence issues and self-esteem issues, where it's the issues that it wasn't that it was loud, it was just the small whispers that most of us deal with as men or boys, but we don't have an outlet on how to process them, right? So that's when I was just like, middle school, it was like, on the surface, I'm doing sports, I'm with people, I have friends, like it's cool. But the inside, I have an internal dialogue that's kind of like self-sabotage and not enough, right?
So how did that excuse me. So how did that self-sabotage start to come out? Like what were the things that like came from that?
Yeah, good question. I think a lot of it just comes from
in that age range.
Yeah,
though,
the age
because
group.
like cause you've definitely obviously like you would have matured, and then like now like I mean we're fast forwarding like years, right? So like the person that I have in front of me is light years different than that person. But like at that age, like what were the things that you in retrospect saw happen that came out as those actions, I guess?
Yeah, you know what? At that age, it comes off in like doing just silly things in front of friends to try to catch attention. It's trying to be the extra class clown and you look back going, why did I do that? That was mean. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just an angry kid. Not angry kid, but I was a hurt kid, right? Yeah. And there was like decisions of like, like one year I didn't decide not to play football because I was just getting lazy. Just because my self-esteem issues, I never believed I was good enough. So it was like, what's the point? But it's like I was, it's like it was a point where I started self-sabotaging myself of like, I don't even believe I could be good at this, so I'm not even going to try in it. I'll do it, but not even try in it, right? So it was kind of like I learned how to dim my light, right? Because I'm in an environment where being a light it wasn't supported, right? So like, because naturally of my parents' dynamic and my siblings' dynamics and where I fit in that and where I thought I fit in that, there was always like a deep level of like, I'm not loved enough because I don't do sports as well as my older brother, right? Or I'm not loved enough because I don't feel this way from the family's eyes. Like my brother was so good at sports that my dad would be like to all his friends, like, my son's gonna go to the MLB, like he's typical Dominican, like, and looking back at it now, you're like, my dad was just proud of his son. Yeah. But he didn't realize I'm right next to him. He didn't even mention that I play sports too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. I'm trying to figure out how to formulate this question. So you needed to dim your light, or what you felt like you needed to dim your light. Did you go into like a negative space, or was it just like, let's say, because you're still in school at this time. Yeah. So I'm assuming, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming that like you really worked hard on your grades.
No. So, okay, good. That's a good thought process. So check this out. Yeah. When I became a freshman in high school, my brother was a senior. My cousin, who was like my best friend, was a junior. And then my sister was a sophomore. I knew everyone my freshman year. So
because of them, yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was, where I'm from, like you were partying every weekend. Okay. So like it was a natural, like what I experienced in high school was like what most people experience in college. So we were going out like at, freshman year of high school. Like my birthday party in September was like in the woods party, like beer pong. Yeah. Like it was the typical going out thing. So it was going out. Okay. So for me, it was going out because the grades part, I think my ADHD kind of like now look back, I'm like, man, I probably did.
Well,
have focus
it's it's interesting, and we'll get back to the story part too. But like, it's just interesting because the way that you're describing it, and dude, if I wish my brain was different because I really wanted to go to school for a lot of things.
Yep.
But one of them is psychology, and the way that you're talking, it seems, and I mean, this is probably your scope of things anyway, but it sounds like you would have been the person in school to find validation from your parents. You would work really hard on your grades, dim your light in other in the other ways that you knew who you were for the most part at that time, and sought validation through school because you couldn't be yourself.
Valid, but my dad figure was like my brother. So my brother was the cool kid going out partying, sports. So the validation came from him.
Got it.
My brother was a class clown.
So the funny, the joking, the drinking, the partying, all of that. That's a validation from the older brother.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So like that, because I want to be just like him, because everyone wanted to be like him. Like growing up, it was like, oh, this is my brother, like. Wow. So I would be drinking with him and his older friends. Like they used to have an attic, and my mom's super cool. My dad was kind of like not really paying attention, but like we would drink at my house all the time, like have house parties. So it's like, I was always in the mix with my older brother, drinking freaking, I don't even know what it was back then, but like Malibu and like 13, So it was like, oh, I'm gonna be cool with my brother. I'm gonna play sports and be cool and go out. So my validation came from then going out and focused on that, because he was smart naturally. So he was actually really good at school. I naturally wasn't. So like it was like,
but you were following in his footsteps, and so like by proxy, like he was still the smart student, and you just saw what you saw.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. And it was so for me, it's like, but I do like that socialness. I get that from my dad. That's a really positive thing. My dad's he knows everybody.
He's a people person.
He's
because I can tell
Dominican
you're a people
lighthouse.
person.
Yeah,
it's really interesting too. And I'm sorry that I'm interrupting you.
Yeah, it's
again.
good. Yeah,
but like I'm seeing a lot of similarities in me and you. Yeah. Not just the fact that we have the same name, but like
it's the curls.
Yeah, it's the curls. It's the name. It's a skin tone. It's like the olive skin tone. Okay, did I just find my brother? Yeah. That'd be crazy. J squared. The
J squared podcast.
Yeah, that would like the offshoot of it, like J squared after dark. You can't right now. You got a 3-year-old, but later, whenever he grows up, we could do that. Sorry. See, it's interesting the similarities, because even whenever you walked in, we talked about like it was just integrator, visionary. You started out though. How would you have known that I probably read the same books that you read, and you know what I mean? So like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like states away, different upbringings, but like a lot of this, it just, I'm gonna steal this from somebody else who you're gonna meet. His name is Jonathan. He said in the Average Days podcast, he always starts with this word, and it's ubiquitous. Like there's so many things that are ubiquitous between like that's why these, and I'm stealing this from him too. Thank you, Jonathan. That's why these stories are so important, because it's the testimony. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. So they're just the ADHD. You see, and that too. Where at what point? So now we're talking high school. Did you go to college?
I didn't. So I think the focal point was like the turning point was when I was a junior in high school. I had a friend who committed suicide.
Yeah,
and it was something that would like he wasn't like being bullied or anything. Like it was just a self-esteem issue, and that really like shook us up, because it was just like, wait a minute, like how it's like one of those things where you could pick up.
So did it wake you? Did it wake you up at all, or like not wake you up?
It was I think it was the seed.
Okay.
So it was like the seed where it was kind of like, okay, this happened. It shook me up.
Yeah.
And then the seed didn't grow until a couple of years later. So it was like, it happened. And then you just kind of keep going with life, right? We're juniors in high school. We just keep going with life. Senior year happens. And it's like, for me, I'm not really resonating with school. It was 2008, like my mom was dealing with financial issues, like losing
Oh, the housing crisis.
Losing our house, right? Because it was like, it's time where
Oh, man.
my parents also just divorced too when I was 16. So they divorced.
God.
Right. And then like money was a big issue, right? And it was thank God they divorced. It was long overdue. But it was one of those things like they divorced, and it was like the money was so important. Like we were just, on the surface level, like we had a nice house, like, but like on the background, like my mom's losing her house. She's fighting with lawyers. Like she had to go through court because the mortgage was sold to someone else. That wasn't like, the whole thing that happened in 2008. So it's like, we went through that process. So money was like a big, big thing for me in that era. Cause it was like, we couldn't even have enough money to like pay off my braces for my senior photos. Right? Because it was one of those things where it's like, I'm a senior. I'm like, and then like they're arguing about money. My mom's working her ass off, and then my dad's kind of being like stingy a little bit, but also like he did make a little more money than my mom. So they're going through their stuff, right? So like as a junior, senior, you just kind of keep doing your thing. It's like, all right, I'm gonna do something. And it's like, all right, I want to do something to make me rich. Like, let me go into like a business school or do something. And then ended up just going to a community college in my city, in my city. Mm-hmm. And I did that for about half a year. And then in that process, I reconnected with my best friend who I grew up with since he was like second grade. Mm-hmm. His dad owns a karate school. So he's known as like the karate kid in town.
Like a martial arts karate.
Yeah.
Okay.
His dad owns like a very like in the city, everyone knows the karate school. Like he was the karate kid.
Okay.
I never did karate. I was just always his best friend. So I was always around him. Yeah. But it was like sports. We played football, basketball. Like I would go to his house all the time. Like,
and at what age was this?
This was like 19.
Okay.
But like I knew him since second grade. So I was always at his house. Like, His father was like the first Puerto Rican to build a business in our downtown city. Like he was like,
He was the man?
Yeah, almost? In the 80s, like when karate came out, like the top school.
That's really cool.
So like I always knew he was a karate kid. We did some karate stuff when I was with them, but we always were sports, play video games. Like we hung out as friends. Yeah. But then at 19, he reconnected with me. And then when I connected with them, we were like, he's like, let's put on some gloves. I was like, all right, cool. And then he got so much better, right? Like, and then he quit. He didn't. He decided not to go to college to pursue teaching karate. Mm-hmm. So then he was, okay. Yeah, so he was like, I want to run a school like my dad, and kind of he's still doing it to this day.
Really?
Yep. And so he invited me to a class, and then I came to a karate class at 19 with some ego, And
you got
yeah, the kids just like, those young kids there, and I'm like, fuck, so it was one of those things where it was out of my comfort zone, but then I first started like MMA, and then I switched to traditional karate, and then it changed my life because my best friend was like my mentor at that time. And that was my first experience to like having a mentor, although he was like a friend, but he was very clear that he took on like a mentor role because he was now in charge of a karate school. It had 2 locations. Sure. So he was in charge of one location at 19 years old. So he was very like, I'm going to show mature because my students, they have to look at me like a certain way. So he acted very professional. I was like, okay, damn, like he's a little different from my best. On the side, we're best friends, like shooting the shit. And then, so that was like the start of like, there could be a career in this. And then 6 months later, as like a blue belt, I decided I want to teach karate full time. So then I had...
What?
Yep. Because I was at a place where I went to community college. Like all my friends were going to school. Back then too, it was still like, if you don't go to college, you're going to be a failure.
No, for sure.
Like now it's different. Entrepreneurship's cool.
Even though my mom is still pissed that like I didn't finish college. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm going to go to, I'm going to follow my heart. And it was the first time where I said, you know what? I'm developing self-esteem, confidence in this school. And I started reading personal development books.
Okay, so, and I didn't want to interrupt you for that part, but I was just like, when did that start?
Yeah.
Okay, so was it 19 or 20?
19.
Okay. Do you remember the first book?
Yeah.
What was the first book?
It was way too advanced for me, but it was 7 Habits.
Highly Effective People by Steve.
Way too. I look back, I still don't even like that book now, but it's still good. But, that was the first book that I tried. Failed. The next book that was really good was a John C. Maxwell book called Today Matters. And it was really good because it was all about like discipline and habits. And then we were also doing audiobooks of Tony Robbins in the car.
The cassettes?
The cassettes, the
Hell
old school one,
yeah.
because his dad had the ones from the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
what is it? Awaken the Giant Within? Did you listen to that one?
No, it wasn't Awaken. It was Unleash the Power Within.
Unleash the Power Within.
But yeah, that's his first book. But
oh, dude.
So what's crazy? So I decided to do that, bro. My family was like crying. Why are you gonna? Because I'm like a 19-year-old gonna quit. They don't see what I saw, right? And they didn't feel what I felt. Like I felt being more confident. Like I'm like, oh my god, I am developing something that I know can last forever. So college and school never resonated with me. And it was one of those things where I was like, I gotta follow my heart. And the book said that. I'm reading these books and they're saying, whatever the masses do opposite. And that's when I decided I am not going to follow the rules. And I was never a rule follower. I'm still not a rule follower to this day. Like growing up in school, I was always drinking on the side, smoking. Like I was never like a rule follower. I think I'm having a
bromance with you. Yeah. Like I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like smiling this entire time. Like and it's crazy too because of like and I kind of want to tell you some of the books that like I started with too. But like it's interesting the similarities yet differences. Like you took personal development and you used it in a martial arts setting, still to develop your maturity and your mentality and all the skill sets and everything. But it's so different than like I went into photography, videography, production, and I used all of those skills that I learned in those books and in those tapes and in those, and so it's just so interesting. So tell me more.
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah,
but wait, there's more.
Yeah, please.
So I'm 19 years old. So I went through the whole phase of like telling my family. They were crying like, "Oh my God, Josh, what are you doing? Like, don't do that, whatever." And I'm like, whatever, like. I'm pursuing this career with or without your approval. I'm just letting you know I'm not going to college no more. And like the second half of that first semester, I didn't even show up. Like I just failed all the classes, and it's like it's not for me. And I was learning much more, and I realized it's school actually slowed me down. And I was just so passionate about helping kids out because like with what I experienced with my friend, it's like there's not a bullying issue; it's a self-esteem issue. Oof. So. Me and my best friend were on a mission. We were like, we're going to make America stronger one black belt at a time. And we were the school is...
Say that one more time.
We're going to make America stronger one black belt at a time.
That's beautiful.
And we had a leadership program. So the school is very character development focused. So it was like, it's less about the martial arts, but more about the daily mental battles you deal with. Right? Because how often do you get in a fight?
Once every 3.5 years.
Right. So like you barely get in fights, right? So it's like we get daily battles in our mind.
Yeah.
Right? So I was 19. We did that. I'm committed. All right. And then check this out. We're like, all right. We've been listening to Tony Robbins in the CD in the car. Like we gotta go see him. So we look up the website. Like let's go check it out. Oh my God, he's not gonna be back into the Northeast until another 13 months or something. Okay. So his next event was 3 months from there, from that time we were looking at it, and it's in Florida. And we're like, Northeast. So it's like, you got to take a flight, hotel, right? So we're like, oh, shoot, let's do it. Like, what would Tony Robbins do? We're like, all right, let's do it. We literally only had enough money to pay for the flights. And I think my mom paid for it. Shout out to my mom. She always holds it down. And we paid for the flights, and we were like, you know what? We'll figure it out. We won't tell them. We told them we had hotels and everything. And we're two 19-year-olds just like, we're going to change the world. Like, let's go with Tony Robbins. And we didn't realize we're not going to change the world. We realized at the event, we're going to change ourselves. Right? So we went to the event. The first day was amazing. It was like the first time we started, it was the first time ever that I actually started reflecting on what I went through. Right? We are so consumed with the noise. Yeah. We have no time to study ourselves. And we're the main characters of the fucking movie. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Like we don't even watch film for ourselves. Athletes watch films from every game, and we don't even think about what we talked about when we were 10 years old, 15. So it was the first time in that event that I started really looking inside, right? It was my first, it was like, Tony Robbins' event's very like, extreme, so it's like very extreme. So it was a very extreme event, but at 19 years old, it's what I needed at that time. And then we leave the first day, excited. Yeah, let's just go get a hotel. We're good. We're naive 90-year-olds thinking we could just go to a hotel and book it. Every hotel was booked out because it's a 5,000 person event.
Yeah.
And we don't know.
Yeah.
So we ended up just throwing our suitcases in the bushes in Florida, walked to the beach one night, and we ended up sleeping outside.
Really?
We slept outside two of those nights.
How'd you shower?
We didn't. Like, shower. Well, that sounds convenient. Nice. So we were like, what would Tony Robbins do? Like, we were literally...
You walk on fire. That's what you would do.
Literally, the first day, they're getting you ready to walk on fire for the next day. So we're like, we're going to walk on fire. And then we're like, we could do anything. So we literally stepped outside one night and we were trying to take turns, like, waking each other up. And then... we would. This
is amazing.
The center.
I want to tell you. Okay, no. You go and then I'll go because I have to tell you. But God, the center what?
The center opens up at 6 a.m. and the event doesn't start till 9. So me and him will
you
run
went there
in
early.
The security guy pulls up
and you went into the bathroom.
Went in the bathroom. We fall asleep for 3 hours and we wake up thousands of people behind us. So people were like, one lady was like, "Do you guys sleep here?" We're like, "Yeah." And then she invited us to a hotel. She's like, "Oh no, I have a car if you want to come with me. Like it's 10 minutes away, but there's rooms there." So we ended up the one day we ended up sleeping in a hotel, but it was
okay.
Crazy.
So now this is so.
Yeah.
I think I don't know what it is. I'm so intrigued by this type of like personality type because I do not see this very often. Like, my first event. Yeah. And this is where I met Bob Proctor. And then I started like learning from Bob Proctor. And it was fucking crazy. I didn't know what I had until he died because I wasn't mature enough to know. Yeah. But anyway, so that first event, I had just enough money to get the flight. And so then, and it was in Vegas. And so I was 18, 19. Yeah. I had no money. Yeah. So, and also I was 19, 18 or whatever. So I got off the flight. I had no money. I walked from the airport to the Vegas Strip because that's where, and how would I have known how long it was going to take for me with my carry-on? Yeah. And it was cold and I'm from here and I had shorts and a tank top. And so I walked and I have Alex Noski, who's also going to be there not tomorrow but Friday for the reunion for everybody. Oh, I should probably say this. I'm so entrenched.
Plug in.
Well, I mean, they'll be able to see. You'll be able to see the baby show reunion live on TikTok and YouTube on Friday. Friday being May 22nd, 2026 to be historically correct. But and I'm really excited about that because like everybody, almost everybody, there's a couple of people who are in different states who like different, with kids and stuff like that. So I have a few people who aren't going to be coming, unfortunately. But maybe I should zoom them in. Anyway, no. The Alex, I was very big on Snap. I was actually like famous on Snapchat at the time.
Oh shoot!
And because I would say, "Good morning, Snapchat world. My name is Joshua Coates, and you're over in a success story." And that was like 14 years ago. He sent me some money on Snapchat so I could get some food at McDonald's. It was like $4 or $5. I will never forget that, Alex. Thank you. I love you. But the reason why I bring this up is because I didn't know anything. So I was walking to the Vegas Strip. I got there. I'd never been there before. It's gorgeous. This is whenever Vegas was Vegas. Yeah. And and it was cold. I was shivering. I go to the McDonald's. I buy $4 or $5 burger with something. I sleep there. I'm walking around the Vegas Strip, and I know no rules, just like you, right? Yeah. And I'm not afraid. So I go into one of these like larger department stores, and I see somebody there, and like I know that guy is on the poster, like some guy, some rich guy who's going to be talking as the leader thing. He's there, and so then I go to him like, "Hey, I'm really excited to meet you. I'm like had no idea. Do you mind buying me a jacket?" And he's like, I mean, sure. Yeah. So he bought me a jacket. I still have that jacket. It was like $65 at the time. $65 was like $1 million for me. Yeah. And so plus like it was warmth. And so I had and long story short, I slept on a couch of some person's. I met somebody that allowed me to sleep on their couch in their hotel room because I didn't have any money for a hotel. God, I slept at that McDonald's. I got $4 or $5 worth of food. I went to the event, and for the first night, I showered in the sink. And, it's just, I'm saying this because I usually don't tell people this. Yeah. And it's so interesting that, like, you had the same mentality. Yeah. Like, you were like, whatever, I don't know how this is going to work, but it's going to work.
Bingo.
So anyway, keep going.
And that's exactly when I started testing my audacity.
Hell yeah, okay, keep going.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have the audacity to be like, we were just naively believing that we're going to change. And we were, we were changing the world in the sense of, like, we were so committed because we're like, we go to this event, come back, we're going to be so much better for our students, right? Because they look up to us. Yeah. Like, so it's like, we got to develop ourselves in order for us to develop
100%.
Our students. We were responsible for kids all the way from 3 years old all the way up to adults. We had a grandmother who trained. Right, so like we had people who we had a grandmother. She trained. Yeah, it was so cool. It was the grandmother, the mom, and then the 2 kids.
That's beautiful.
It was one of those things where we were super responsible. So that event just kind of took us to the next level of like commitment, right? In the sense of like personal development. From there I just became addicted to like growth because it was the first time going, oh wow, this feels good. But it was also a space where it's like not about me; it's bigger than me. Because it wasn't about me. It was like, I'm learning because I want to teach, right? And the best way to learn is to teach. Yeah. And everything that I would read every night, So I became addicted. Like, I was the personal development, like, crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, vision board. That's when I had Success magazines, right? Not to, like, we're still doing magazines there, but each magazine, you would rip out the CD and I'll put that in my car. So like, I literally for the 6 years I taught karate from 19 to like 25, I didn't do like music. I only did music at the gym, but like every car ride was like audiobooks. It was videos. It was like Les Brown, Jim Rohn. Like, it was like, I was fully obsessed. Like, it was like, because I had a whole life before that of just negative self-talk, right? So the tape in my head was all the limitations from my environment, my surroundings, all the self-sabotage, right? The negative self-talk I had. It was the first time where I was like, oh, I got to overcompensate for all the negativity I dealt with because it was helping. Like I started becoming happier. It's like, it was a huge change, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then there's more.
Tell me.
There's more. So please tell me. I'm in a space where I do the karate school.
Sure.
I read all the books. I'm on top of the fucking world. It was the point where it's like, all right, I'm making a little bit of money. So it's like cool. Like all my friends from college are like kind of trying to figure out their things. Like, I'm sober. I'm helping students out. Like, we're graduating black belts. Like, we're changing lives.
Yeah.
Like, I had a kid like
legitimately.
I had a kid who was going to get kicked out of middle school and didn't, and ended up getting higher honor rolls. Right. He was bipolar, all these things. And I had kids on the spectrum that I worked with that, the parents will cry every time they would take a class just because they'll listen to me. Like this one kid had Tourette's and I got him to not swear. And that was like a win, right? So it was one of the things where it's like I started, achieving my goals. I moved out on my own at 21. I didn't have to, but it was just like, I know I got to get uncomfortable, right? Because if I eventually want to do something, I got to step out. So I ended up moving to like my karate instructor owner's house he had in New Hampshire. And I ended up renting out the 2 rooms. So I ended up having cheaper rent. So it was my first like thought process of like house hacking back in the day. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I'm gonna charge them more and me pay less.
So actually, and Emily, can you hear me? Okay, so when I say buy 2 bikes, does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, you sell one and then you ride the other one.
Yes, one to ride and one to rent from Jim Rohn. So anyway, no, I just
that was my mentality as I was reading these books.
Funny. I was just telling her. Man, I'm sorry. Keep going, please. This is amazing.
Yeah. So like it was cool. So I struggled, right? Like 100%. I went through my own thing. Like I figured out about oil and shit that I had to do. Like there was times I didn't pay the oil because New Hampshire is different from Mass. So Massachusetts, I grew up, like, I didn't have to pay for oil. Where in New Hampshire, you pay for oil.
Explain. No, because remember, I'm in Arizona, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You have to fill your oil tank, and it heats the house. So I didn't have enough money for the oil. So I'm thinking, that's okay. I'll deal with the cold without realizing the pipes will freeze.
Yeah, and then they'll crack and break and everything.
They did, bro. So I'm in the house with no freaking, bro, no heat for like 2 weeks. And like my best friend, my other friend, they came over, they were laughing at me because I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go sleep. Yo, I would be in the winter jacket with the hat, reading my fucking personal development books, my blanket, like, I'm gonna succeed. You know, it was one of those things where it's like, it was hilarious.
Oh my God.
I ended up having to pay for that. Like I had to redo it. Like thousands of dollars back then was like a lot to me. And then it was like, but I had to learn. You know, I had to grow up and learn. And my friends used to make fun of me because they came over the house that time. They're like, this is not normal, Josh. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't have a dad who kind of like taught me like, oh, these are the things. You know, I was just like, I don't know. You know, just like,
this is so funny.
So yeah, I went through that whole experience. You know, I was in a relationship at that time. I met her through the karate school, and it was great. It was a great time. But then the plot twist is that after all that, being on top of the world, doing the personal development, I ended up being more intrigued of like figuring out how to become financially free and lifestyle design because of Tim Ferriss. So I read the book 4 Hour Work Week, which changed my mentality of like travel. And I never liked the code. So like I always wanted to get out of the code. So it was one of those things where I started pivoting and going, all right, if I stay here, I'm going to have to continue working here. I'm going to always have to be here for 80 hours a week. Whereas like at that time, there was a new concept of like making money and traveling. And
I'm sorry, I'm smiling so hard and
yeah,
I'm trying not
it's crazy.
to. It's just, no, just keep going, please. Yeah, just don't mind my smiling.
In between that too, another big thing that happened at 21, I ended up getting a knee. Ended up getting a double fracture in my knee. It was like an old sprain from basketball that never got healed. And then while I'm doing karate now, I'm kicking I did a spin kick, landed and like tweaked. And then that night, I'm teaching my kickboxing group, my adult group kickboxers, and I'm doing lunges. Like, all right, crew, like let's do lunges. I used to work out with them, and I'm doing lunges, and it popped. And I'm like, high five, drove myself home. I'm like, oh my, like with my left leg, because I was living by myself. Like I didn't ask for help. Why would I ask for help? I'm a man. I do it by myself. I figure it out and suffer in silence. Crazy.
But that was your reality.
Yeah, it was my reality, right? That's what brings me to then what I'm doing now. And then my friend was like, no, it's a meniscus. You're good. Like you're chilling. Bro, I go to the doctor. Like, no, you got a double fracture. You need 4 screws. So I'm here, 21 years old, just dropped out of college, got an injury where the doctor's like, you probably shouldn't even do karate after this. You're going to need to look at knee replacements. And I told him, I said, I was stubborn in a good way sometimes. I was like, I'll never stop teaching karate. And here I was 3 weeks late. Like it was like, I think a month, I had to be on the machine for 8 hours just to bend my knee again. Then from there, I literally have pictures and videos of me teaching karate in the rolling chair. Because at that time, I was in charge of all the classes. So I was technically...
You didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. It was my students. I was in charge of the classes. And I had so much like pride in the sense of like, this is my students, right? They paid me and they committed for 3, you know? So like, it was a huge thing that happened, but it also had me thinking of like, man, if I'm not able to move, can I still do this career?
Yeah.
You know, so it was one of those things where I read 4 Hour Work Week that started thinking about financial freedom, and I started dreaming more. Like, oh, okay, maybe I could be more than this. Maybe I can create more of an impact. Because what I realized in the karate school, it wasn't the kids that was the problem. It was the adults. Because the kids can be with us 2 hours a week and do amazing, but when they go back to the environment with the adults who are projecting the insecurity, kids see what you do and not do what you say. So I would have parents that come to me, my kid's yelling all the time. I'm like, where does he get that from? And she'd go, okay, I do yell, but he's not supposed to yell. And it's like, so I realized that like, all right, I'm on a mission to help people, right? And then I went to another seminar by T.R. Vecker, and it was the Millionaire Mind Intensive. And the speaker there name was Dennis Cummings. He was a fantastic speaker, like amazing top speaker I've seen live out of a lot of speakers. I love the industry. Yeah. And then I went up after him like, hey, you know, he was like, if you don't own the business, you'll never be financially free, point blank period. And I was like, fuck. And I was like,
I don't own it.
I don't own the karate school. I'm just managing the location. You know, I did get like revenue from the gross. Like, so it was like, you know, but like, it didn't work out. So like the guy was like, I was like, but I really love what I do. I'm really passionate. Like, this is the thing I do. He's like, it don't matter. You won't be financially free. And I'm like, I said, fuck. So that's when I decided, all right, I got to exit and do something, you know? So there was a point where I got into some like network marketing, was doing some of that was kind of like pushing me away to be like, all right, I'm going to try to pursue something else full time. which was so hard, right? It was the hardest thing. It took me a year just to unplug because I can't
from your karate
school. Because it's not like these students signed up for 3 years to work with me to get them to the black belt. So like,
it sounds like personal training kind of thing. Like,
Like,
where it's like you have like this responsibility to this person, and like you've kind of given your life for the most part to like I don't know what the belts are and everything, but like from white to yellow, then orange, then like like Josh, I'm gonna tell you, like I'm gonna get you from this to this, and I know how to do it, so I'm gonna do it with you. And so you kind of gave your life to them.
So hard to leave that. So it took me a year to actually leave. So I had part-time, had to leave. And then the crazy part is that after that, I left the karate school fully and ended up going through a rock bottom, right? Because what I call it is a personal development ceiling. There's a ceiling to personal development because the personal development got me to get to a certain point. I can get to a certain point without getting to the core wounds. Right. So what happened was, ended up going.
You're so right. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can mask, right? There's also positive. Like there was a point in the karate school that was like toxic positivity, and it was a little bit more like, no, you could do it, and it was just like, oh, like there was things that you can try to overcompensate for because there could be lacking, you can still overcompensate in these areas. Status, jobs, careers, relationships. Look at this, but don't look at this.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where. I was in between jobs. It was like horrible. I gained like 30 pounds in a couple months. I got an office job, cold calling call. So I went from like karate school, being the main head hacho in the karate school to like no one's looking at me. No, I have no kids to lead, no one to lead. So I lost like my purpose because it's like worth my identity now, right? Because my identity was, at that time, my title was Deshi Munoz. It was like, that's my title. That's who I am. That's my identity. I was holding on to identity because that identity was getting me to live a positive life. So it's not that it's bad, but it wasn't me. It was I was putting my energy on the identity instead of putting in who I am, right? Yeah. And it was one of those things where in that in-between stage, like I went to like rock bottom, got a corporate job for 6 months, hated it, tried to get my real estate license, failed, ended up working for this real estate company, and then was just like, this sucks. They ended up putting me on commission only. That time I see an ad from Ty Lopez saying, oh, learn how to charge companies $1,000 a month and run a social media marketing company. I was like, I'm going to do it. Right. Like that's what I'm going to do. So I ended up investing. I was in the second cohort in his when
you first started that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. This was back in 2015, 2016. And then, so I'm in rock bottom going through that. But then at that same time that I'm like, I'm going to quit this job and then go pursue and start my own business. I was introduced to someone, it was my first taste of spirituality. So it was this lady who does Reiki, who does like card reading, who's like, does that type of reading. And for me at that time, I never heard of anything of that. And my friend said, oh, you got to go to this lady because my friend worked with this lady and he became a millionaire.
Okay.
All I heard was millionaire. Yeah. I was like, the fuck? I don't care what she's doing.
Her. Yeah.
The fuck? What I got to do? Sit on this table? The fuck? I don't do that. Bro. And then I started working with her and then it was like, oh.
I get it now.
I started to get it, right? Okay. So it's like, it was one of those things where that was the seed to like, oh shit, what did you go through as a child? Like inner child healing, meditation. There was things where I was like, all right, that's when I started meditating every day. Right? Mm-hmm. And then martial arts taught me a lot of things, right? So I still have this personal development bag, but then I still hit rock bottom. So I'm like, this fucking doesn't make sense. These books fucking didn't work. They didn't work because I still am suffering. Here, yeah. I'm still in fear. I'm still suffering, right? Like this doesn't make sense. So I was like, this has to be more. So then I became obsessed with the truth. So I got into like all the conspiracy theories. I got into all like the inner work, like the, I was still smoking a lot of weed at that time, right? So it was just one of those things where it was like, I'm in the hippie mode, right? Where I'm just like trying to find, I'm meditating, everything's good. And then I went through the whole process. And then I started my company at the same time too. My last company was called Grow Now Digital. And then was able to build it. I was able to build it. And then a year later, able to move to Arizona. So 2018, I moved to Arizona. And then in that time, I was still working with her every week. So we were like kind of bartering. So I was doing a lot of stuff of like, pulling angel cards, angel numbers. I started reading more spiritual, esoteric books. And I was obsessed with like, all right, there's more in the spiritual realm. Okay, cool. Let me investigate that, right? Like, let me look into that. and like, let me really develop a relationship with me. And then I did that for a few years. My marketing company started doing well. Like the reflection from like me doing my inner work spiritually, and then my business success was like
Parallel, yeah.
parallel. So it was like, oh, I'm doing great. This is awesome. Hell yeah. Amazing. But there's more. Then I got obsessed with that aspect, right?
Okay.
So then I got obsessed with spirituality, where it's like I was rocking malas, crystals on my neck. Like I was the first one wearing malas. That wasn't even a thing back then, you know? So like 2018, I started doing that, you know, got introduced to my business coach, who was also a shaman in Sedona.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, you know, he's amazing, like a brother to me. So I got into ayahuasca, right? So it
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh. You went like real hard.
I went hard, right? So for me, it's like all in or nothing.
Yeah. I get it.
So I went all in. So it was like, I've been hearing about ayahuasca. For me, I was like, I want to figure out the truth. And then I ended up doing ayahuasca, had really profound experiences. But it was one of those things where I was still dealing with stuff, right? So it's just like, for me, I was doing a lot of the inner work. It was working. Business is doing well. I'm having good relationships with my family. I'm confident now. I have self-esteem. But there's still stuff that's still lingering, right? So it was one of those things where, you know, I realized for me, I was looking for myself outside of me. So I was trying to... The ayahuasca ceremony is profound. That's the magic. Without realizing I'm the magic. You know, so for me, there was a phase where I was really obsessed with, like, I was wearing the malas, but still doing toxic behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Still partying, doing some coke on the side. You know, like, like it was like, when I moved to Old Town, I'm like, this is crazy. They party different from the East Coast, you know? So it's like, I went the Old Town route, and I was like, this is too much for me. Like, you know, I actually chose consciously, like, all right, I'm gonna choose abstinences where we're like to be celibate for a little bit. Because it was too much. It was like, this is crazy. Like, let me just go ahead and let me go relax. And then ended up moving to Sedona for a year in 2020. And yeah, I went through the whole route. I went through the plant medicine route and went through that. And then after that, I was, my sister got into a modality called Marconics, which is awesome because it's just all about you connecting with your higher self. And for me,
it was called Marconics.
It's called Marconics.
Okay. Yeah. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, they're like the new kids on the block. So it's just like,
it's like everything connected.
Yeah. So it's like, it's the only thing for me that was like, it wasn't about anything outside of me. They was always asking like, well, did you check in with yourself? And is that appropriate and safe for you? And it's like, oh shoot. Like, oh, so I'm the tool. Because I was like, I went the whole plant medicine route, and I was still having issues in like relationships and fear, codependency. Like, I was like, holy shit, like it's still, how much bowls do I have to do to get to cross the fucking bridge? Right? It's like, oh shit. And then my sister, I got my sister into like personal development, and then she skyrocketed with Marconics and like went this route. And she was like, whenever you're ready, Josh, like, let me know. Like, and I'm like, cool. Like, whatever. I'm doing the plant medicines. Like, I'm fucking enlightened. Right. And there's aspects you do get enlightened experiences, but it was a point where I was like, all right, Karina, I'm ready. Like, this is like this, I'm sick of it. Like, there was still an experience I went through in a relationship that was like, I'm still in the fear program. And it was one of those things where I ended up was like, I had to surrender. Right? Because a lot of spiritual people say, oh, no, you got to let go. But then they're still stuck in their modality. Yeah. And then, you know, so for me, I'm like, so I ended up doing that. And then after Marconics, it's just been like a full blown like connection with myself, and that I don't have to make it up outside of myself. So that's when I stopped drinking. And that's when I, you know, for me, weed was like harder to let go of, but then eventually let go of weed, because weed for me was like, for those who know me, I was like a hidden weed smoker. Like, no one knew I smoked weed because I'm always bubbly, and I don't know, like people don't picture me, but I smoked all day, every day, right? Really? It was like, I would run my company. It was a successful company. I was living at the Quarter, Scottsdale Quarter. Yeah. So I was like, you know, I made it.
You got the Optima?
No. I was at Broadstone.
Okay. I'm like, free. You know what? You can leave right
now.
No.
Just
kidding. I've got a lot of friends who live over there. It's just, I don't know what happens whenever you live over there. Like, you get... Yeah. No, I know. No, I lived in Broadstone. It was great. And then my friend gave me a guest pass at the Optima, so I would work out there every day. Yeah. Okay.
So it worked out.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, people who live there. Yeah. So I lived in Broadstone, so I lived literally right in the Quarter, and it was one of those things where it was just like, I was still dealing with a lot of fear, and it was like, I want a family, I want to bring in a wife, but I'm still dealing with this fear stuff. And that's when, for me, I stopped using the substances outside of myself and really got a chance to face my shit. Right. And that's when, like, when you're sober and you're clear, you're able to slow down and then have conversations with yourself to be like, let's get to the wound of why I'm operating this way. Right. And a lot of things in my life, it was like, it looks positive, but like we can going working out and getting fit after a breakup is a different intention of just working on getting fit for being healthy.
Yeah.
Right. There's a sense of like resentment, and this is so. It's
I'm
like,
going to show you.
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna show you. Right. It's like that's not really doing anything. So that all of that led for me to like have a successful marketing company, and then I let it all go. I let go of my marketing company. We found out, my wife at that time, we found out we were having a baby, and then we decided to just let it all go, and we went to Mexico for a year and lived in Cancun with her dad. Yeah. So like at the height of like my success, I said, fuck all this. Like we found out we're having a baby. She just sold her house. She made a good bag. So like, we're like, let's
Your
do
wife?
It. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she bought early and sold.
And we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
sorry, not tomorrow.
yeah.
Friday. We'll talk about that on the 22nd.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where like we took a year off and went to Mexico. And it was one of those things where like, yeah.
But
so,
I mean, also good for you.
Yeah, I'm reading all the books, and they said, "Oh, I regret not being present as a business owner and doing this." I said, "Wherever the masses do opposite." So all my friends are like, "I'm scaling business to $1 million a month." I'm saying, "I'm gonna catch me in eating tacos."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like, let's go to Cancun. We can slow down. Let's be really present.
Yeah, bro, that's what you're supposed. Well, not okay. Like, I'm sorry. I get heated when
Passion.
Get passionate, whatever. I love that though, because like if I was I'm not kidding, if I was in your same situation, but like if I had the money for it, like I've been bootstrapping this shit for years now. So like definitely. And like, obviously there's a chunk of information that I'm missing here about the house and all the other stuff like that. Like, cause it sounds like she also, from that, I'm extrapolating that she was right next to you, right. You know, as your partner, like really helping you like throughout this entire time. Because like because you know you were single. I don't know. You know, we didn't talk about like when you met her, and then her maybe she already had bought in a house, or she had a house, and then she sold the house, and then you got pregnant, and then you're like, well, like let's get the hell out of here. Yeah.
So I met her. Like it happened so fast. So I met her when I moved to the quarter and got out of a relationship that was in Sedona. And then I was just living in the quarter, and I was just like, fuck everything. I'm gonna just focus on my peace.
Yeah.
And then literally I was doing well in business. So I gave my sister a credit card, and she was living at Arizona at that time. I said, create my apartment and style it the way that I can attract a wife. Literally, I had like girls would come and go, "This is the nicest apartment I've been to." And the guys like,
you're like, "I know, huh?"
Yeah. So I outsourced it, right? So like, my sister gave me like my counter in my apartment had like plates already set up with gold. Like,
hell yeah!
Like my shit was clean, and like I was like, I'm gonna bring in my
funny.
wife. Like this is I'm locked in. And then literally the time where I didn't expect it. Someone liked my photo on Instagram. And at that time I had an old Instagram that had more followers.
Yeah.
And then one of my videos that kind of went semi-viral, it was like 11K views back then. And it was just like, oh, okay, like this is a video of me talking, and went kind of viral. And then she liked my post and then followed me. And for me at that time, I was like, all right, cool. Like
sure,
I could tell she's from Arizona. I have no clue where she's from.
Okay.
Like, Arizona's big. Like her profile couldn't, couldn't tell, like maybe Old Town. I don't know, but I'm in North Scottsdale chilling. I don't care. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'm gonna follow her back because that's just who I am. And I was like, oh, cool. Let me follow her back. And then no lie, bro. Like 2 weeks later, me and my former business partner were doing videos at my apartment, and we're doing a new video for our website. And it's mad late, and I'm like, fuck, do I go to the gym or do I not go to the gym? And then I was like, you know what? If I go, because it was like 7 p.m. Like, fuck it. I'm like, let me throw back some pre-workout. And I went to the gym, the latest I've ever been to the gym.
No way. And she was there.
And I'm working out at the gym. And I'm like, I think that's her. And then I go to her Instagram, see her story, and it was her Instagram story was just like her workout notebook, but I knew it was EOS in North Scottsdale. Like you could tell. And it was her. So, bro, me, I'm the type of person, if I know you, I'm
going up to you.
I'm going to just say hi out of respect. Like, even if, like, I'm not even looking at that way.
Yeah,
like, for me, I was just going to say, oh, what up? We follow each other.
Yeah.
Like, cool. So I'm like, all right, let me go say what up to her.
I'm smiling so hard it hurts. Go, keep going.
Bro, I go to say what up to her, bro. She left.
She left?
She left. She
What do you
wasn't
mean?
there. So she wasn't in the gym. So like I texted her and I was like, oh, I think I saw you at the gym. She was like trying to play the smart. Which gym? You know,
yeah.
I was like, no, at EOS. I think I just saw you. She's like, oh yeah, that was me. And then I was like, oh, I live at the corridor. She's like, oh, I'm always there. Like, let's meet up. And then ended up meeting up with her and her friend. We ended up grabbing pizza. Then I asked her on a date, and then we went to the Soul, the Mexican restaurant at the corridor. And then from there, the rest is history. Like
my God.
I met her on the first day. The first day, like I was super intentional. So this is the time where I've done a lot of inner work. So I was very clear. I had my manifestation list of like the ideal partner. And I was very clear of like, I'm not dating, beautiful. I'm courting. I'm trying to.
And you got to fill all of these needs that I have as a partner. And so you already had that, and you're going in with the right mindset. And dude, and then like, but that's the thing. Whenever you do that, and like it's manifestation at its finest. It's like, oh, yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yep. And I was in relationships where I realized what I didn't want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It took a few relationships to be like, oh, fuck, that's not, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where I was very clear up front, right? I was at that point in my life where I'm doing well in business. Money is not even a thing at that point. I'm just focused on, oh, I want a wife and a mom for my kids. And then the first day I asked her, I said, well, you know, what's your goals? And she said, if I had all the money in the world, I would just want to be a wife and a mom. I said, bet. Where's my credit card? Yeah. I said, let's go. You know, so it was like she was the calm warmth that I needed for my light that was so bright, trying to change the world and type of stuff. Like, so it was really cool. Like, so that was the story where we met, and then it was just like from there, it's like, you know, we started dating, and you know, it was one of those things where it just felt right, and it was really good. And then we had our obstacles too, right? It's like relationships aren't meant to be perfect; they're meant to be real, you know. And I was able to be real with her, where we're able to communicate. She's
and that's what you need. Like, how else are you going to succeed as a visionary with all of these hopes and dreams and wishes? And like, it's in your heart. It's like, it's in your mind, but it's like it's really in your heart. And like, you need that person who's going to be able to like be there for you. And I'm talking about like, because it's me. It's like, and honestly, like we have gone so far over the amount of time that I usually do just for the story part. But I've been so mesmerized by this, just your story and like the similarities and everything. And so, what I want to do right now, I want to speed to what you do now.
Sure. Because
you've already set such a great precedent for like what you do now and how you've gotten there. So tell the audience, tell us, what you're doing and how incredible you are doing it for the community.
Yeah. So I started, because of all what I've been through and the years of inner work and realized, my sister, who's my best friend, was like, Josh, like you embody what a gentleman's supposed to be. And that's when we created the Gentleman's Dojo. So the curriculum that was created is co-written between myself, my sister, and then my other, pretty much like sister. She's like my sister's best friend, Crystal. And we then all three of us came up with a curriculum. So it's the woman's curriculum that came, but I'm the one delivering it because I embody it. So they're like, no, Josh, like, trust me, the guys out there don't live the way you embody this.
Yes.
So they were just like,
oh my God.
We created a curriculum on what us women understand, us men, because women see there was a quote my wife shared. She said, Earth is just moms and their children. And women feel things that we can't as men, right? So having the powerful woman's perspective in a men's curriculum is what makes the curriculum really special. And the curriculum's all about you getting back to yourself, right? Because the best teachers bring people back to who they are. And that means sometimes for my people in the dojo, you got to speed up. Sometimes you got to slow down. It depends what season you're in. And that's what we want to teach people is how to be sovereign at the highest level. To be sovereign at the highest level means that you are the own source of your power. Your power is not put into modalities, into your meditation, into your fucking somatic breath work, into all these other things that I was putting my power in. It's in the power of you being. And our curriculum is broke down to 4 pillars. We have the false man, which is about all the shit that we were taught as men, right? Boys don't cry. Oh, you gotta be the provider. You gotta be the protector. You gotta be the savior. You gotta be all these complexes that we carry in their programs, and we're living in outdated software. Mm-hmm. So we cover that. We cover addictions, addictions to porn, addictions to weed, to alcohol. I led by example, all of them, right? So like I speak by experience of like, shit, this is what I was dealing with as a man, right? We all deal with it. We don't talk about it, right? Yeah. We just take it off the chin, and then that's the first pillar. So really cover that pillar. And the second pillar is all about awakening the inner boy, right? Like how do you now because what happens as boys, we suppress our emotions and feelings, but we forget joy comes with that.
Wow.
Happiness comes with feelings and emotions. So now you suppress everything. Now you're not happy. And then you wonder why your career sucks, or you get a divorce, you do stuff to keep sabotaging yourself, because that little boy in there is crying and doesn't even know how to cry. You can't even still yourself with your emotions. You can expect to have a family and kids. Women are nature. Woman is mother nature. It's not man nature. It's like mother nature is because women are both the storm and both the breeze, the everything.
Fucking preach.
All the emotions, right? So it's like, I'm going to stand here. You're not going to be able to stand with your wife. And then kids, now that I have my 3-year-old and a 4-month-old baby girl, like their emotions I got to be grounded in who I am to be able to stand in the emotions with them.
Wow. And
that's what we cover in the men's group is like, how do you actually show up as you so you could be that grounded anchor that the world needs? Don't need more men banging on their chest saying I'm macho and angry. No, you can do that easily. The guy's been doing that. That's a problem. You have to learn how to be a gentleman, right? You have to first be gentle with yourself, because most men are just the worst critique. They critique themselves. I tell the guys, I said, the worst hater in my life is me. The way I'm talking to myself, I can't even dream. I can't even believe. It's like I'm the biggest hater in my own life. I talk to myself more negative than other people talk to me. So like we cover awakening the inner boy in the second pillar. And the third pillar is all about relationships and communication. How do you now develop a divine union?
I've got so many guys that need to be in your program.
Yeah, this is like literally.
Oh my God.
The relationship communication is all about like, how do you now create divine union? So I have guys in my group that are married with kids, and I have guys that, still looking for the relationship, right? So that's the third pillar. And the fourth pillar is like, how do you now embody being a gentleman, right? Like, how do you live it, So like my group is like, it's very sacred in the sense of like, I don't give a fuck if you do this work. So if you show up, I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna finish shine my light, right? I'm the lighthouse. You wanna go back to shore? I got you. I'll bring you back to shore. I'll bring you right back to yourself so you could be a lighthouse. So my mission is to just help men become lighthouses, because women for decades and generations have been waiting for us men to wake up.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to wake up in a way where we lead through our heart in that calm confidence, instead of this ego controlling, manipulative way that we've been doing forever, right? So if you look at the world's problems right now, life would be much different if men were able to express themselves and were able to be there and realize that our women are the chosen one, right? So it's like you learn how to honor our women in relationships, how to honor ourselves, and you doing and you choosing to do the work is honoring everyone around you, right? So that's the mission, So for my group, we meet once a week. We have a WhatsApp group. We meet I have 2 groups, like either Sundays or Thursdays. It's a small group at the moment because I don't care for you to show up to do the work. And that's the problem. Most men who listen to this video will be like, damn, that's cool, but not take any fucking action. Most men who join my group are referred actually by women.
I mean, well, that makes sense.
So it's like women.
You're like, I feel like you should go here to Josh because, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you. You just show up. I'll get you an Uber.
Yeah. And
I'll buy you the drink. I don't even know how it works, but like.
Yeah. So like my group is super simple. I literally made it stupid simple. It's $77 a month. You join and you're part of the group. And there's accountability.
That's not bad.
Bro, what the fuck? I'm not doing this I got charged something for
exchange. For accountability.
Accountability.
Literally. Like, dude, oh my God. Okay, I haven't done, this is the first time that I've done this on camera. Okay, because like I've obviously off camera, and I'm the same person on and off. It's just I don't have enough time to record everything, and I'm thinking about doing a kick or like some sort of like live streaming. But that's beside the point. What can I have been preaching this. Yeah. We got a couple more minutes here, but for your sake and for my sake, I've been preaching this, and I work primarily with women because of this, because I care so much about the oh my gosh, I can't even think right now. Man, Emily would be able to explain it better, but I care so much about like the result and how somebody feels and how somebody will like receive the whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the banging on the chest and the yelling and the argumentativeness and all of that, like I do not resonate with that, and I cannot like fulfill that anger or that frustration that somebody needs to take out on me.
Yeah.
And I've learned that from so many different clients that like really hurt me because I care so much. And so I work primarily with women, and I preach what you're talking about to everybody, that men need to change. And so that brings me to this question. And the question is, what can I do to help you? What could I do? Because I want men to understand what you're teaching. Yeah. And so maybe you can't answer this right now. Maybe think on it and then talk to me on May 22nd, 2026.
Plug it.
It's not really a plug because I'm not letting anybody else in it who doesn't come to the podcast. But maybe so they can watch it on TikTok or YouTube. But I really want you to think about that because I've been thinking for 14 years, and you'll meet Alex Noski. He is my longest standing friend because he was there from the very beginning, and he will tell you, and I'll make him go on camera on that day and talk about it. But he has asked me to create a course for men the same way that you have already done it. So I'm not trying to recreate the wheel. Let's bring men into what you have already done and allow me to create in my zone of genius so that way I can help you do what you need to do for the community, because I think what you're doing is incredible. Yeah. Like it is so needed.
Yeah. And I made it community based. So like I ran it before when I was in Mexico that 1 year. I ran it as a cohort. Right. Okay, I'm still my business mindset. We're like, scale this more coaching company. Cause like, whatever.
Like, well, because it's still in there.
It's like it's still in there, right? So it's like, but it was like intensive. It was like a 12-week, but I realized it was too much for the guys to integrate. So the reason why I just relaunched it in January. So the reason why I relaunched, but now that my kids are here too, like, I'm not that overwhelmed. Well, the kids is crazy work. But now that in January, I relaunched it to make it community based because life be lifing, right? So it's like you don't train in the karate school in the dojo because you get beat up. You train so you don't get beat up. So in life, you're gonna go through shit, and that the community base has been like such a big thing for the kids. For
the people in
for the guys, the boys, the bros, and the gentleman's dojo, because there's shit that comes up week by week. Like there's stuff that comes up even for myself. Like I share my stuff too in the group, and that's what the community is about. It's about like accountability, consistency. Guys will go to the gym every day. They'll go to business events every day, but then they don't spend time with their souls.
Dude, you're dropping bars right now. I have on the screen. I have your TikTok. Yep. And I made it a thing where the only way that I will follow back is if you come on the podcast. And so you came, and so I'm following back.
Let's go.
And for everybody, this is where you will find Joshua Munoz. And for last 30 seconds, the name of the business, where they can find you, and if there's one thing that you want to leave, go ahead.
The Gentleman's Dojo is the business name. And you'll find me at I am Joshua Munoz on TikTok as well as Instagram. I'm active a little more on Instagram, but TikTok too. And then, just one thing to leave is just like, if there's one thing that I think our mission here is to develop a relationship with ourselves, and I think you're the main character. And if you are going to live your movie in your life, you might as well be aware of the movie you're living.
Damn. I have so much more I want to talk to you about, but
this is gonna keep going after.
Yeah, well, no, you gotta go home.
I know. We gotta do family. We gotta do family gym time.
Do it, and oh my god, here. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Tell them how you do family gym time.
Yeah,
because that's so cute. Go. You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, we have family gym time. So we do. We just signed up to Lifetime, so it's been amazing. So Lifetime actually allows us to drop off our 4-month-old baby. So we dropped off my 4-month, my 3-year-old baby. They go to the daycare, and then me and my wife get to work out. It's amazing. Like being a father in this realm is different for me and her. Like we're trying to find ourselves again.
Yeah.
Because it's not about us. It's about finding ourselves within now being a father, and I'm a husband to a wife with kids. Totally different than just being a wife, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like different dynamics. So it's been awesome for mental health and physical health.
Dude, my name is Joshua Coates and your overnight success story. This is Josh Munoz. And this is the Baby J Show. Thank you guys so much. Love you. Bye.